Hello, this is Joseph Hacken, a fellow from Pennsylvania. This is a series of emails that I've written to Fox News, Tucker Carlson, to CNN, and to the Delaware Democratic Senatorial Committee. This is an email sent on Monday, February 27th, 2017. This is about terrorist threats. I sent this to Tucker Carlson February 27th, 2017. The terrorist threat is not the same here in the Western Hemisphere as it is in the Eastern Hemisphere. To the north of the United States is Canada, to the south of the United States is Mexico. They are not Muslim countries. South America is to the right of the United States, Canada and Mexico separating the two hemispheres. I have not heard that South America is in danger of too much terrorist activity. Terrorism originates out of the Middle East and from Muslim countries. ISIS is the number one terrorist group among others. It is a Middle Eastern occupation. Terrorism in the United States is known as homegrown terrorism. The attacks were not directly from ISIS. After the attack, the terrorists would hail ISIS. Because my dog was stopped because the lawnmower guy is in the backyard. Hopefully this won't be so bad. After the attacks, the terrorists would hail ISIS. Because of where each nation is on the globe, that would be a very long distance to travel if ISIS targeted the United States. Ted, please, here, Ted. I gotta give him a treat. I'll give him a treat. A dental stick. Dental bone that will get him away from this for a second. Hold on. There you go. Okay, Ted. Because of where each nation is in the globe, that would be a very long distance to travel if ISIS targeted the United States. Look at the country of Turkey, as one source has it. 3% of the northwestern part of the country, half of Istanbul, and 10% of the population are technically on the European continent, and the rest is in Asia. That not far to travel, easy access from Turkey. You can go individually, taking different modes of transportation. Furthermore, plenty of those countries have allowed Muslims to firmly ensconce themselves within whole communities and society without finding out who those people are first, such as in Norway. The Kingdom of Nation of Jordan have allowed over 650,000 Syrian refugees into this country. Others have allowed more in a huge humanitarian feat, an effort on behalf of their neighbors who are in a desperate need for help. In an act of true charity, they gave even when hurt. One of the two greatest commandments is to love your neighbor as yourself. They were taking the Syrian refugees in, while the car bomb went off in the Al Rahman district opposite a Syrian refugee camp, killing 6 members of Jordan's security forces. So they stopped taking them in. But there's no terrorist report given of a terrorist who was allowed into the country who came in as a Syrian refugee. The Syrian refugees now settle on the outskirts of the country in the desert region. Nevertheless, the Kingdom of Jordan and the European Union are still doing what they can to provide for these people. The Gospel of Mark is Mark, chapter 12, verse 41 through 44. Jesus sat down opposite the place where the offerings were put and watched the crowd putting their money into the temple treasury. Many rich people threw in large amounts, but a poor widow came and put in 2 very small copper coins worth only a few cents. Calling his disciples to him, Jesus said, "Truly I tell you, this poor widow has put more in the treasuries than all the others. They all gave out of their wealth, and she, out of her poverty, put in everything, all that she had to live. Which one is the United States? I will give you a hint. It is not the poor widow." Charity comes out of your poverty. Charity comes from the heart. Not because of this is what we do. It does not boast or brag. 2 Corinthians chapter 8, verse 2 to 3. In the midst of a very severe trial, Their overflowing joy and their extreme poverty welled up in rich generosity. For I testify that I gave as much as they were able, for I testify that they gave as much as they were able, beyond their ability. This is the nation of Jordan. Jordan experiences the threat from terrorism and the threat from other countries, such as Syria and Iran, all the time. Terrorism is very near to them. The United States does not. The United States is not in the same position. Paranoia runs deep here in the United States. I wrote that to Tucker Carlson February 27, 2017. Now, I'll attempt to proceed to another one, but I didn't tell you I was going to do this, but I'm going to do that. It is an email I sent to Tucker Carlson on Wednesday, April 26, 2017. This is on false prophets and false teachers. There are those evangelicals who tie the king of the North, seen in biblical prophecy, to that of NATO and President Donald Trump. Let me remind you, Donald Trump is the president of the United States, which is in the West. The evangelicals in the Christian church have been given huge credit for the votes that Donald Trump received during the presidential election and got him elected. And so he felt obligated to them and sent George Gorsuch to the Supreme Court, since he sent Brett Kavanaugh to the Supreme Court. Brett Kavanaugh raped that woman. And I came back with that with an email back in 2018. So I'm going to get to that. 2018, 2019, so I'm going to get to that further speech, further sincere. These evangelicals have to claim that NATO is part of this prophecy, but they can be correct. NATO is the North in this prophecy. You know what he said. He said that NATO was obsolete. Now he says that they are not obsolete. I also have to remind you that Donald Trump, as you see, is taking the forefront for the bombings and missiles and the possible makings of World War III. This is just in case that you are told that NATO is the biggest part of these things. Again, it is their North, you know it is. There are today, and have been throughout church history, hypocrites, false teachers, false prophets, false brethren in its midst. And there are teachers who do not understand the scriptures enough to be teachers in the church. They are warned that they are held in high account by God. This too is very, very serious. James chapter 3, verse 1. Let us not all become teachers, brothers, for we know that we who teach will be judged more strictly. 1 Timothy 1, verse 7. They want to be teachers of the law, but they do not understand what they are saying, but that which they so confidently assert. In the book of Philippians, chapter 3, verse 18 to 20, for as I often told you before, and now tell you again, even in tears, many live as enemies of the cross of Jesus Christ. Their destiny is destruction, their God is their stomach, and the glory is in their shame. Their mind is set on earthly things, but our citizenship is in heaven. He wanted to be president, so if elected, he and his posterity can richly dwell in this world. His financial empire was tumbling. That's why he cared so much about the United States making bad deals with other nations, and his desire for his family to be involved in the country's governmental affairs. Going down to verse 21 of Philippians chapter 3, who by the power that enables him to bring everything under his control. What you are seeing in the United States and the world is Jesus Christ himself, causing all things to go according to his most perfect law and for his glory. He sends desolations in the earth. These desolations by God on earth are through natural means: famines, pestilence, earthquakes, tornadoes, hurricanes, floods, tsunamis, volcanic eruptions, fires, etc. Many people die from these happenings. Bombs and missiles, these are the work of man's hand. This is for the glory of man, but will be for his destruction instead. Regardless of what happens, God will be glorified in all this, and man will be judged by him. Thank you. Oh, Trump's financial war for himself and his posterity. This is for Trump's financial war. This is all for Trump's financial war. for himself and his posterity. Thank you. I'll be back again maybe by 12 o'clock. So please follow me on this, and this will be another email that I sent to Tucker Carlson. Thank you. This is Jason Hackett.